Radio.world.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio.world community update on the Rainier Beach Farm Stand, held every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. through the end of October at the Ethiopian Community Center in Seattle, 8323 Rainier Avenue South, hosted by the Rainier Beach Action Coalition. That's the Rainier Beach Farm Stand, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturday through October.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world, breaking radio boundaries.
Oh, they're kind of
Like song.
We're gonna get it a little tighter too.
Turn your volume down.
Yeah, turn the volume on. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Urban World Talk Live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world and on Facebook Live. Thank you guys for joining us. It is an honor and a privilege for you guys to be here with us today. And we got a good show today. We got a great panel on deck today. As always, with me is Mr. Anthony Adams.
Yes. Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Throwback Thursday and happy Flash Day. As you can see, I'm wearing my Flash attire, hat and T-shirt. I took it there. I always take it there. I am a DC Comics head. I don't care what anybody says.
And if you don't know, now you know. Also with us is our queen, Miss Ashley King. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I'm all for this rainy weather, by the way.
All right,
So don't be mad at me.
She's a Seattle.
It's coming.
Seattleite through and
try
through.
it.
She's a
Don't try it.
Washingtonian.
She's not.
Through and
She's
through.
not.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it
Like
with the rain
that.
weather. I'm your boy Teri, as always. But we have a special guest in here today, Miss Lavelle Marchand. Marchand. Say it again.
Marchand.
Marchand.
On Facebook,
Yes.
but Lavelle Sykes.
Well, on Sykes. Marchand is what if you see him on the links and all that, that's what he goes by on his Facebook. But Lavelle Sykes.
Thank you for having me, Teri.
No doubt. We gonna be getting into some major things that you got going on with the Father Shop workshop going on next week. We're gonna talk about that, get into it and dig into it. And that's pretty much what the show is gonna be really focusing on today. We're gonna be talking about parenting and families and how to coexist properly with your exes and coexist and raise that child together. Co-parenting the best way possible. Before we really get into that, I just want to, how's everybody's week been going so far? How's everybody been? We'll start with you, Mr. Sykes. How's your week
I've been
been?
blessed. I got to meet you. We sat down and
You chopped it up.
shout out to Eddie Howard. Shout out to Mahogany for putting this together, the Father Shop think tank. And so my week has been blessed.
Yeah.
Because I got to again establish a partnership and come here and share what the Father Shop is about.
Oh yeah, definitely. Miss Ashley, how's your week been?
My week's been good. My son was able to go back to football this week. He was acting up last week, so he was on timeout. But he's back on the field today, and I love it.
You gotta get him. You gotta get him every now and then.
Hashtag football mom, yeah.
You got to get him every now and then. Mr. Anthony Adams, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm
How's your
good.
weekend?
My weekend was good. Let's see, I watched this little thing that launched last week called DC Universe, which is the streaming service.
Did you watch DC Universe? You
I
haven't
did.
said that the
I
last
did.
1 million times.
Yeah.
DC Universe.
We had
How
no
was it
idea.
though? How was it though?
It's awesome, yo. They got like dang near every DC animated movie on there, and it just reminded me too that DC.
fanboy.
No, it just reminded me of this.
Right.
DC movies are not the animated movies, especially. They are not for kids. They're very dark and everything, so they go there. But it's really cool to see like to relive my childhood. It's total nostalgia. Another week was good is that I've started the renovations in my house again, so we're knocking out a wall, expanding the kitchen, and then my daughter started school yesterday, and today was day 2, and she's been very excited for that. So
That's all right, man. That's all right with me. You know, I did a little bit of this weekend. I went to Vegas this weekend.
Yes, I
So
saw that.
Did a little bit of that.
Pop that cherry.
Me and the wife, yes, definitely. We went ahead, went down there to Vegas, got it in. We had a good time, man.
Looking like Superfly in that picture.
Oh, man, look,
Nice
man, you know, you gotta do it. You gotta do it real big, Vegas. One time, just one time.
One good time.
One good time.
Retire
You know
at
what
the
I'm
time.
saying? I'm retired. Look. You know what's funny? I pride myself on being somebody who I think of myself very youthful and you know, energetic and all that stuff. I try to exercise and whatnot. You know, a little bit. But I tell you what, man. You know, we got down there in Vegas, boy. I was trying to tell you, man. We was like, I thought I was going to do it all night. I thought I was ready to go, boy. No, it wasn't really the heat. It was just like, it was just the non-stopness of Vegas, man. It just didn't stop. And we tried to get as much in as we could, and we went and saw so many things and went so many places. Went to a club where Fabulous was supposed to go on and perform, right? Yeah. When we saw Fabulous, he didn't go. They were whole night. They're hyping it up. Oh man, hey, Fabulous gonna hit the stage tonight, y'all. So we got strip dancers up there. We got guys dancing and we got girls dancing. We got people clubbing. It's all good. So we get in there at like 10 o'clock, right? Me and my wife trying to be youthful, trying to be cool, right? She's trying to be cute. She got heels on. You know, feet is hurting. You know, trying to be cute. But we went in there trying to do our thing. I got my little stuff on. You know, I got the nice little dress shoes on. We doing all right. Okay. You know. The bar was too expensive, so we only went there one time. We one good strong drink. That's all we needed. So when I got there, place is packed, right? 10 o'clock, 10:30 we went in there. Still no Fabulous. All right, we gonna come. We just dance a little bit, do our thing. 11 o'clock, still no Fabulous. All right, we just gonna dance a little bit. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Still no Fabulous. Man, what the hell, man? We had Fabulous just sitting over in the corner just smoking and chilling, right? About 2:30, we're like, man, forget Fabulous. He ain't had it hitting them. Fabulous hit. You know what? Man, I don't really like that guy anyway. I like Fabulous, but come on, man.
I like Fab too.
4 hours, I ain't waiting for you, man.
I ain't that statue.
I'm telling you, man. Come on, brother.
Here's like, I went to Vegas a few weeks ago too. I'll tell you this right now. Vegas will remind you that if you go in your 30s, it will quickly remind you that you are not in your 20s.
And I'm trying to tell you, man, hey, yo, check it out, because you knew everybody that was 30 and up in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
They had the same energy as me and the wife when we got in there, right?
Yeah.
We was in there, woo!
Looking at your watches after a while. You get to look at your watch.
Yo, I swear to God, there was a chick who was in there busting it open at 11 o'clock who was dang near falling asleep on the same speaker as she was busting it open on 3 hours. But it was crazy, man. But anyway, Vegas was crazy, man. We went and saw a bunch of shows. Humanity. Oh my God. If you guys ain't seen Humanity.
That's the Cirque du Soleil one, right?
Out. It's a freaky Cirque du Soleil.
Oh.
And when I say freaky, I mean freaky.
PG.
I mean freaky. You know, I'm just saying, I didn't say nothing wrong. I didn't say nothing wrong. I just said it was freaky. That's all.
It's only in Vegas. It's a complete 180.
It's in Vegas.
It's a complete 180 from that Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil I went to.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I don't want that. I don't need that.
Different kind of freaky.
But yeah, no, so it was a good time, though. We had a great time. I want to welcome everybody once again if you're just now joining us on Facebook Live. Remember, if you're watching on Facebook Live, like and share this video. It does a great deal to help us out. Plus, I want everybody to comment, even if it says, say, what's up, go Hawks. Even though we lost, you know, we still representing. If it's just to say, what's up, just let us know. Hit us up in the comments and like and share this video, and let's keep this conversation going.
Yes.
So, yeah, so like I said at the top of the video today, we're going to be talking a lot about families and coexisting and co-parenting with your exes. And we're also going to talk about this thing. Mr. Lavelle Sykes, tell us a little bit about yourself, though, because you have helped put together something that we're going to be doing next week with this father shop. And just tell us a little bit about you and some of your inspiration for getting that whole thing going.
Well, first of all, I'm a King County clerical messenger. I was trained with that curriculum, and that's the base of it. The purpose of it is to really reach out to the juvenile population, those that are, or the young population, those that are encountering the juvenile justice system. Okay. And from that training, my focus is fatherhood advocacy.
Okay.
I believe the numbers show that when it comes to the father effect and what a lot of things that are going on in these streets with these children, a lot of things, one thing that they do have in common, or a lot have in common, is the fact that they have a father that is absent. Not active in their lives. Right. So me being an individual that come from an absent father home, as well as being an absent father, been to the penitentiary 5 times. You know, so I've been very, very deep in the dysfunction.
For the people on the Facebook Live, just talk a little bit louder. He got a smooth soul brother radio voice on. You know, so everybody, you know, all the ladies on the radio, they going nuts. But Facebook Live, man, didn't hear you a little bit. Turn it up for the camera. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But
and so my inspiration is the fact that I recognize the error of my ways. I have not had the opportunity to properly raise my children because of the fact that my children are by multiple women, and so that's multiple households in which an individual who I believe, and I'm just speaking for myself, who didn't have too good of a value system. Thus, so many children by so many different individuals. I seen that there was a need for a fatherhood movement where we can get fathers to become more active, understand the importance of their effect on children.
Right.
I know that, I'm going to give you a story for just real quick. I was in the penitentiary, and my daughter, we always made education a big thing.
Right.
You know, she was always rewarded for her academic prowess and accomplishments. And I'm in prison, and she came to visit me at Monroe, and she was pumped. She was graduating.
Right.
It's like, you know, any other time, it's we send her limousines and top of the DoubleTree and all these old types of
doing it big,
you know,
right?
Doing those things, but that's a different type of following, though.
I got you. I got you.
So with that being said, she came up and she was expecting me to, you know, be very proud and very excited, which I was about her graduating. But what disappointed her the most was the fact that I wasn't going to be at graduation.
I mean, that's everything, right?
So I had like 90 more days before I left, before, you know, after her graduation. Man, she took and turned her whole body around in the visitor room and ignored me that whole visit. She was there, and she said, all I wanted you to do was be there.
Devastating.
It's like, oh, you know, we're gonna get the limousine, we're gonna do it real big, and she didn't want that.
None of that meant anything
compared to
to
be there.
Right.
And I wasn't. And so that's my inspiration, and this some more stories too, but that's my inspiration.
Real quick, I'm gonna let you get right into that. I want to remind everybody we are on RainierAvenueRadio.world. This is Urban World Talk Live, RainierAvenueRadio.world, and on Facebook Live. Go ahead and continue what you're saying.
And just the fact that being a black man, the Father Shop's goal also is to restructure the Black Family Foundation, and that is to educate, empower black fathers with the life skills and support resources necessary and beneficial for them and their families as well as the community.
I'm going to get back to the Fatherhood Summit in just a minute. What do you guys think about that kind of stuff? Do you have any kind of for the story that he said about being in prison? Do you know anybody who had any experience with anything similar to that, where their father was locked up and wasn't around for all these important times in their kids' life?
A lot of people I know actually.
Personal?
Yeah, not for me personally. Well, I mean, my biological father, I lost him when I was 8, so I mean, obviously he missed out on so much in my life, my sister's life, you know, my younger brother's lives. But if we're talking, I've been fortunate enough to never have a parent in jail, but like I've had friends that, you know, they've had a dad that wasn't there, skipped out, or like, you know, was in prison, you know, and they messed up big time. And I know it really hurt them when we graduated and their father wasn't there.
Right.
Because everybody else's dad was there, they were giving them flowers. And even though that person's mom was there, and that mom's mom had to both be father and mom and really busted her tail in to make sure that friend of mine had everything and then some that he needed, the tools to get through in life. It just really took, you can really see that like he was really happy, but like a part of him was like, I kind of don't want to be here right now because we're all graduating. I'm like, well, we're graduating, we're celebrating. He goes, yeah, but I was like, are you sad we're leaving high school? He goes, I just wish my dad would be here. I was like, I get it.
Any experience that you've had, any personal experience with any family or friends, anybody in that same situation?
I haven't. I've never experienced somebody that I was close to not being able to have their parent at something important. I mean, my parents missed one of my graduations, but not for a reason.
But it probably sucked even though they missed it.
Yeah, it sucked. I mean, I get sad if I missed my son's first day of school this year for the first time. And I was sad about that. So to miss his graduation, like I can't fathom. I've been fortunate enough to not experience
There are
that.
2 things I can talk about that my parents missed as well. Like I remember when I was in 4th grade, it was my last year at this elementary school because they were actually going under. And we used to do plays like every quarter. And so the very last play that I was in, my parents did not show up till after the play was over, and I remember I was crying because I wanted them to be there and to see this role. I was hurt behind that because normally one of them, they were always at every play. And then I think the other time they missed something, my mom was out of town, but my dad, he missed my first wrestling match and that was really big to me because I was wrestling and I won. But he wasn't there, but he had a good reason because, one, he had to go pick up my brother and sister from school because mom's out of town. But also, this is
going down memory lane.
It was the WTO thing was going on, so he was stuck downtown, so he couldn't do anything.
Well, why are you going down memory lane?
Sorry.
It all started when I was bored.
Anthony will tell you his life story.
I will.
Digress.
Go ahead.
You give me a whole 4 hours in a podcast, I'll do it.
It's a wrap.
It's over.
We gonna know everything.
All right.
Go ahead. We're gonna get some of these comments real quick. Though.
Okay. Let's see here. Ja Young says, "Love the light to everyone. Big shout out to my big brother Teri Youngman." All right.
What up?
Anthony Toomer says, "Y'all look good. I'm trying to slip out. Come on, brother. Time.
Come
on, Sporty G."
Yeah.
Jessica says, "Hello. What's up, Jessica? Jessica Bong always tuning in every week." Toomer says, "Anthony Adams, I see you with the flash here, bro. Respect." Sky Allison, watching all the way from Oregon, says, "Hey guys and lady, just happened to come across the live video. Sky, you're not going to want to miss this conversation because you can relate to this as well." Suzanne says, "Thumbs up. Thank you for that." Sky says, "A special hello to the one in the red. Love and miss you guys. One of my wife's good friends." Hey Sky.
Some of these earlier ones too. We had.
Shout out to Michael Anthony Rideout, Stephanie Rollins, and Zay Miller for watching.
Albert C. Allen says, "Hey y'all, what's up, Lavelle? Thanks for the invite here." Doc Blackwell says, "What's up?" Lydia says, "Hey." Lydia said, "Ashley got the girls out today." Don't put all the business out there now. Doc says, "My brother Lavelle." Daryl never said speak out. We addressed that. You're trying to be sexy on the radio. It's all right. Mia Richardson says hi. Lisa Williams says thanks for the invite. Thumbs up from Tamisha Hutton. Ashley told Lydia to shut up about them girls being out. All right, so we're gonna be back. So
we're in public.
All right, so now getting back to some serious stuff here. I mean, now personally, my personal experience, I did have a father in the house, so I know the importance on that side of what it is, and I've always taken the lessons that my father, who wasn't a perfect man by any stretch, but he was a good dad by all accounts. You know what I'm saying? He was there, and so I've always taken that. And I've had the approach with my kids that I want to be that for them, and I want to be that light. But has the effect of not having a father in your life? How has that affected you personally as a father and relate to your children? How does that experience? Does that?
Well, I know that when I am around, when I was around, again, you know what I'm saying. I think that I've grown out of that dysfunction.
Right. Well, that's everything too. You gotta grow.
Through my evolution of understanding what it is to be a father, how important I was in the lives of my children, I did. Even though my father wasn't in my life, he was my best friend. Right. However odd that may sound.
And why? And what do you mean by that? How was your best friend even though he wasn't around?
Because I grew up in a real abusive household, and so he was my God by default.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I had to choose between the two. And so at 13 I ran away, and I ran to my father. And when I ran to my father, you know, I never felt so much love, you know, opposed to what was told to me.
Do you think that part of that was that some part of you was looking for something so much that when he wasn't around, that when you got it, you just had to have all of it? Did you think that played a part of it?
Yeah, most definitely. But what I know is that a boy needs his father.
Definitely.
A child needs their father, period. A boy needs his father. My mama, there was a lot of things that my mama could do. Again, my mom was a teenage mom. She had me when she was 15. And so there was only, you know, that's a baby raising a baby.
Exactly.
And there's only so much she could have shown me as far as emotionally, as far as how to stand upright and walk like a man, whatever it may be. And so my dad, you know, he had his issues, but what was the thing that made me run to him is that when I didn't see my father, I seen my sister. I seen, you know, from a different mom. You know, my dad's daughter. I seen my dad's side of the family, and it was always loving. You know, they showed me nothing but love. And so even the stories that was told to me about my dad and these negative, you know, things about my dad, my dad's families, and seeing them at the Black Festival and things like that, you know, because my dad lived right just on the other side of town.
Right.
And so I would see my family, man, and I would get nothing but love. So I just knew that, you know, there was love over there. And so that's what made me go to him.
Definitely. And that's something you're going to gravitate toward, somebody who look like you, sound like you, who can walk in your shoes. And as much as you love your mom, like you said, it's a different relationship with the dad, because this is somebody who is in the same spot as you. We want to welcome everybody who's watching here on Rainier Avenue Radio, listening to us on RainierAvenueRadio.world, and watching us here on Facebook Live. Remember to like, share, and comment on this video. Even if you're going to say what's up, go ahead and comment, and remember to share the video as well. Actually, when you hear brothers talk about the importance of the male role model, you're a woman, you have two beautiful children of your own. What is that? What do you think about the importance of the male role in your life? Because you know you're mama bear right now, but what do you think the importance and significance is of the male side of that equation?
I mean, I think that you have two parents for a reason. You have a mother and a father for a reason. They each contribute differently to your life, and neither one is better than the other. And definitely, I think that boys need their father. My son is a daddy's boy. Try not to be mad about that. But I mean, I look at it like this, and I think this is where sometimes my females go wrong. You know, they say, oh, I can teach my son how to do this and that. But flip it around. Would you want a man trying to talk to your daughter about how to be a woman? About how to, you know, how a woman goes through puberty and, you know, things like that? You don't know what that's like. It's like reading a book. You know, it's not that hands-on experience. You always want somebody that's relatable to what you're going through or what you've been through. Definitely. So moms, and I'm not taking away from single moms by any means, you do the best you can with what you have, but a father is someone who has been through that. So it's a lot easier for him to break it down and relate. If my dad's looking at me talking to me about bras and periods and high heels, I'm like, really, Pops? Are we done? I'm just going to go YouTube this later. So, right? It's not the same.
Especially in this day and age.
Exactly. It's not the same. So
we're going to take a look at some of these comments.
Yeah. Let's see here. Going way back down. Start off with Mia says hello. Akbar Brooks. Forgive me, guys, if I mispronounce your names. Akbar Brooks says, what's good, y'all? Looking forward to the conversation. Michael Anthony Rideout Major says, Federal Way Hawks, 5th grade, best team in the state.
Not the time, Anthony. Not the time.
That wasn't me.
Not you. I'm talking about Michael. His son plays football with my son.
Okay.
Trying to get shout-outs.
Yeah. From the same hometown. Sky says, definitely not gonna want to miss it. I was glad I was guided. Suzanne says, what's up, Lavelle?
Hello.
David Banner says, point side 44.
David Banner.
Okay. All right. All right. So forgive me again if I mispronounce his name. Darrell says, the absence of my father motivated me to be in mine. There's nothing wrong with that. Mike Washington gives thumbs up. Lydia says, boys and girls need their fathers. Absolutely. Lydia also says, especially their biological fathers, no matter what the situation. Jessica says something. She says, having a father figure in one's life is huge. Ask anyone in trouble with the law or in trouble with drugs or just go along with any wrong path. Many of them do not have a father or a dad involved in their life. Let's see here. Lydia says, Lydia says, I hate when females get married and think that the man can replace their biological fathers, even if they are decent guys, need a connection. Doc Blackwell.
We'll get into that later.
Okay. All right. So Sky says, what about when you don't have any choice whether your father wants to be involved, whether the father wants to be involved or not? My heart breaks for my 11-year-old girl. Pretty much always done it on my own, as Anthony Adams knows, which I can testify she does.
Shout out to you.
Yes, Sky, thank you again. Jessica says, yes, 2 parents is the best no matter what it looks like. And then Lydia says, women can raise men, but no matter what, they need a male role. No matter what, if there are no men around and the mom is doing a wonderful job, the boy will still look at any man that comes around, whether it's their grandpas, uncles, etc., and take something from them.
Right. Well, and one thing that's also important, like Ashley was saying, making the point that, you know, the woman can't be the male. She can't do the man things. But on that same token, like some of the commenters were saying, there are those women in those positions, and we all know them, that don't have a choice because they got suckers for babies' dads, and they're not going to come around and not going to be a part of their kid's life, and then they have to do it. And so take nothing away. The fact that we're all talking about what the summit that's coming up next week is to talk. We're talking directly to black men about being fathers in these communities. So that's what it's about to them. But for all the women, if you don't have that male figure that will not be in their life, shout out to you and keep doing what you're doing. Because they still need you to do what you do. And that, you know, and just because you don't have it.
You know what I've experienced, brother? When it comes down to a woman that has had to do it all by herself, right, and raise a boy in particular, right. I've seen men become very strong and respectful.
It's still possible.
Of a woman, based on that experience that he's had with that woman that has had to do everything. There's some youth that sit back with some men that have sat back and really just took in their mother and how this woman, against all odds, did her thing by herself. And I commend those women that are as strong as
that
they
rolls
are.
out of concrete situation.
Definitely, and it's almost a form of resentment. The fact that he did this, he did that. Okay, well, I'm going to be better than him. And a lot of men have that same kind of thing. So when you said you did 5 stints inside, and now obviously you're a different man. You changed,
180.
trying to make something of yourself and trying to make something of others too. Which is also something, because it's one thing to just try to make better for yourself, but you're trying to look out for these communities, these other young guys coming up too. What do you think was the turning point in your life that made you see that this is the path that you wanted to go down and how you wanted to raise people up?
I've always been about my community and in my community, but then at the same time I express my love for my community in a different way. I was very destructive in my community. I created a set over there in West Seattle in High Point called Pointside Gangsters, and it was supposed to be like a community vanguard, against the gangsters, and it turned out to be gangsters.
That didn't work out.
So it's always had, I believe, good intentions. But again, what changed me and what inspires me, not only the story that I told you about my daughter, also my son. My son was shot, and I wasn't there.
We're gonna dig into that. I don't want to cut you off with that, because I want to really dig into that part. That's serious. So we are going to go on a 3-minute break on the radio on RainierAvenueRadio.world, Facebook Live. Stay with us. We're going to be right here. After 3 minutes, we're going to pick right up with that with Mr. Lavelle Sykes, and we're going to get really into this whole thing, because that's some serious stuff getting ready coming. So do not go anywhere. Facebook Live, RainierAvenueRadio.world. We'll be back in a minute.
Yes, Facebook Live. Please stick around with us. You're not going to miss the rest of this conversation. And please continue to get involved in the conversation. Break the comments. We appreciate the love, guys.
That's right.
Thank you.
Keep liking and sharing the video and keep commenting. We're going to get to your comments.
Please do.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio.world community update on the Public Sector Diversity Career Fair, held at the Renton Pavilion Event Center on Saturday, September 29th from 10 to 2. Learn how to apply for public sector jobs, get help with resumes, interview techniques, and NeoGov application process. For more information, go to nwpublicsectorcareers.eventbrite.com or visit our website.
I want to read it right now, but we're going to wait till we come back on air.
My show, The Single Father Project, on RainierAvenueRadio.world. I'm a single father raising my 4 children and trying to change my life in the process. My goal is to inspire other parents to do more, become more, and have fun along the way. I would love for you to check out my show, Single Father Project, on RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Watching all the way from Texas.
Check out Fresh Juice on Rainier Avenue Radio every Wednesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. As we bring you the hottest new hip-hop, dope guests, and interviews with artists on the rise. Plus, you can kick it with me, D-Money, and LB Culture. Every Wednesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. on RainierAvenueRadio.world. Fresh Juice.
You wasn't trying to drown us out so much.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio.world community update on visiting Seattle area museums for free. Get your cultural fix on the cheap on first Thursdays. Free all day are the Birth Museum of Natural History and the Henry Art Gallery, both in the University District, the Nordic Heritage Museum in Raleigh, the Seattle Art Museum downtown, the Wing Luke Asian Museum in the International District, the Northwest African American Museum in the Central District, and the Museum of History and Industry, Mohai, in South Lake Union. And free first Thursday evenings are the Museum of Flight at Boeing Field and the Living Computers Museum in Soto. Museums that are always free include the Center for Wooden Boats on South Lake Union, the Duwamish Longhouse in West Seattle, the Fry Art Museum on First Hill, the Klondike Gold Rush National Historic Park in Pioneer Square. Check with each museum for schedules and exhibits. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio.world community update on Seattle area museums for free.
You're listening to RainierAvenueRadio.world. Check us out on social media.
Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio.org, and Twitter, and Rainier Avenue.
Stop using fidget spinner.
I know, huh? What happened to those? People remember
My son bought them all. I
got
got
one in the
13 of
car.
them.
Like,
Like,
they don't like
I think my daughter has one in
no,
her car.
my son has every color.
No wonder they got them.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are back here on Urban World Talk Live, right here on RainierAvenueRadio.world and on Facebook Live. You guys remember to keep commenting, keep liking, and sharing the video, and join the conversation with us. There's a whole lot for the show when you do. All right, so we just got through, we were getting into some major stuff. We were here with Mr. Lavelle Sykes, also Miss Ashley King, Anthony Adams, your boy Teri Youngman, and we are discussing the importance of Black fatherhood, and we're about to also talk about the importance of coexisting and co-parenting in a healthy situation for people, even if you're exes or not. So we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But real quick, we're going to jump back into the story because Lavelle, you were sharing what is the story. If you didn't hear earlier, this is a brother who now has went through a complete 180 life change. Now he's coming back after doing 5 different times of being locked down. He came back. He's doing good for his community now. He's putting on a thing called the Father Shop. It's a summit for Black young fathers they're going to be doing next week. We're going to get back into that. But you were telling us a little bit of story about some of the things that helped you make this 180 change, this change to your life for wanting to do better, wanting to be positive. And you said one of the things that affected you was when your own son was shot.
Yeah.
Whoa. Tell us about that.
I wake up, man, and go downstairs. I was wondering where my phone at. And so I go downstairs. I left it down in the family room, and I go get it, and I get a message. I look at the message, and the number looks familiar, and it said Marquise has been shot.
How old was he?
Marquise was 14 at the time, and so I found out he's at Harborview. I get there, and and when I get there, and on my way there, I'm feeling all kind of guilt. I'm like, man, he wouldn't be there if I was there, And when I say I wasn't there, he was at his grandmother's house, and him and I had gotten to a little argument, and so I told him if he didn't like the rules, boy, you know where you can go.
Pretty common for a kid, yeah. I've heard that several times.
So he went to his grandma's, and next thing you know, I hear that, I get this text saying that he's shot, and blew me away. Like I said, I felt guilty because I told him to leave.
Right.
Not only that,
naturally, you're gonna blame yourself.
So the relationship of my boy, this is my first boy and my love of my life, and I just, like I said, I was just overcome with guilt and anger, because the way I parented was so corny and so dysfunctional. It was I would do things in front of him and tell him, boy, you better not do this.
You know how many people I've seen do that? I've seen so many people do that.
That's different. Well, you doing it, but that's different. I'm daddy.
Yeah,
exactly.
And a child will be
I'm
a child.
That's the
So
famous
when you start, here's what, when you start paying the bills in this house,
right? All those different ways of how you take advantage of being an adult, being the parent, you know what I mean? And a lot of that is just some selfish things, you know what I mean?
That's just completely hypocritical,
right?
Because you're trying to tell him not to.
Exactly, and he became a lot of what I was. Right. Luckily he didn't have those encounters with law enforcement or whatnot, but he changed his life around.
But how's he doing after the shot? How long ago was that?
This was let me see, Marquise is 23 now, so he'll be 23, so that was like 8 years ago.
Right.
And he's totally turned his life around.
He's 23. What kind of moisturizer are you using? I need that.
You talking about your mom being a baby, having a baby.
How old is you? So and so he's studying to be a journey electrician.
There you go.
Okay.
He just got back from Portugal.
Oh,
Portugal!
Dang, traveling the world. Okay. Internationally known.
And so I'm happy that.
What was the term for him though? What was it? How did he come to that? Was it the getting shot?
Yeah.
That would do
it for me.
Wake up call.
Yeah. I need. I don't want to play no more.
Again, he didn't want to. His thing was he didn't want to be what the negative aspects of who his dad was. And I respect him for that. He is my inspiration. When I look at him and I look at his relationship with his woman, it's like I'm the son and he's the father. He's showing me, what a healthy relationship's about. Making positive and productive decisions and things like that. So that's my inspiration, and that's what.
Ain't nothing wrong with change as long as it's for the better. Mr. Anthony, go ahead and let's get to some of these comments.
All right, so these are comments since we come back from break. Let's see. Samantha Spring gives us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, Samantha. Sean Piper says, as being someone who didn't have a father in his life, but later on in life connecting with my father, we had the best of relationships, we're the best of friends. So when I got with any female, I wasn't there to take their father's place. I was there to be the male role model. I do have one non-biological son and raised him real, even though I didn't have my father in my life. Salute to you for that.
Definitely.
Yeah, Ja Young says a woman can teach a boy how to treat a woman, but it's hard to teach them how to be men.
Definitely.
They will always need male role models. That's facts 100. Absolutely. Jessica goes on to say, there are so many good men out there. Absent mothers are a thing too.
True.
You just don't hear much about it.
True.
It just plain sucks when parents can't or won't be in their kid's life. Absolutely. Does anyone feel like the song Papa was Rolling Stone and Rambling Man suited into our American culture? Absolutely. Influence people to give themselves permission to dip out on their responsibilities. Sometimes I hear the songs and wonder. Sky says, honestly, I also waited for God to bring the right person into our lives rather than go through relationships, as I've seen how destructive it can be for children through friends and family. Absolutely.
Good for you.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Mia Richardson, shout out to all the coaches, barbers, and community leaders for being role models for the young men.
Most definitely.
Jessica says, responding to Sky, respect. Lydia says, great point, Jessica. There are definitely some bottom feeders out there.
That's what we call it.
Once again, forgive me if I mispronounce his name. Kaneko, I can't say the name. Says, what's up, chill?
Just gave up on it.
Yeah, I'm totally going to butcher that name. Yeah, probably the best. Danita says, I didn't have a father and still don't, but I still learned to love and let God show me that he is my father. Not having that male role model is very heartbreaking for women, but when we let go and find God, the outcome is not so bad. Very happy for you, Lavelle. Okay, Jessica says, OMG, I can't imagine what that must have been like, experiencing your son being shot. Very heartbreaking. Nicholas C. Holly says, I'm here. What's up, Nicholas? Thanks for watching, brother. Lydia says, I'm so sorry to hear that. I could never imagine what that could possibly feel like. Lydia says, thank you for sharing. Doc also says, Lavelle, stand-up guy, respect. Lydia then goes on to say,
take her phone.
Lydia's like our number one fan. Lydia's our number one fan. Lydia also says, my father is the best father a girl could ask for. I'm incredibly lucky to have him. Dave White from Texas also watching. What's up, Dave? Yeah, got two from Texas already watching, him and my cousin. Sky says, this must have been heart-wrenching. Truly, God works in mysterious ways. Beautiful gift found in tragic situation. Lydia says, my father sets the bar. I think this has something to do with why I chose the bed I did. Oh, that's cute.
You hit my phone one more time.
Sorry.
We're gonna fight.
Damn. And then
it's on your side of the table.
Sorry. They say they will marry. They say you marry your father, and I definitely did. David White says, Anthony, the conversation is a great topic. Thank you. It was Terry's idea. Got to give credit due. Lydia says, yes, that what a react topic. So many people can relate. Jamal Washington says, great job, cousin. Keep pushing. Love you.
I'm just stopping right there.
All right.
We're gonna get back to
that might be a record for as many comments as
every now and then we get a lot, but I want to get back to those in a minute. I want to ask you real quick, because next week on the 26th of September, and it's going to be a Facebook Live thing where you guys can check it out. I will be there myself as a host, and the facilitators will be Eddie Howard and Mr. Lavelle Sykes will both be the facilitators for this event next week, and it is the Father Shop Workshop, talking to black men. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect, what everybody can expect.
Well, the Father Shop is a series of seminars and workshops, as well as a fatherhood fellowship support group. And what you can expect is a deep conversation with individuals that are from the dysfunction. Right. And there's some that are not. There's some that will be blessed like yourself, right. And as well Ashley that that didn't have that had a father there,
right.
But at the same time, the conversation, what I call it is a well-seasoned gumbo.
Right, and just because that there's people that were fortunate enough, like myself, to be a part of a family that had a father, doesn't mean I'm not a part of this community.
Exactly.
And this community has a lot of people that didn't, and they're my brothers too. And I want to talk to them, and we're going to be talking to this is going to be a conversation that the brothers are going to be able to comment on Facebook Live, and in the panel we're going to have all these different brothers that are going to be talking and sharing their experiences. Right.
Most definitely, and I think from all different sections of Seattle, from the Central District to the South End to Kent to not Seattle, but even the outskirts. We've brought in the panel's going to be real flavorful.
Right.
I really believe that this conference, my son will be there.
Right.
Okay.
So he can talk to that. Speak
share
to the
his
fact of, not just his experience as far as getting shot, but his experience as far as being having an absent father, and at the same time. My son's relationship, just to change a bit, but my son's relationship, him and I's relationship is sort of like how my dad and I's relationship was. My dad became my biggest fan.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm my son's biggest fan. You know what I mean? I'm talking about from football games when I lose my voice, the whole thing. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, with him being there, from that 18 to 24 targeted area of people that are at risk, he represents that.
Right.
At the same time, he also represents those individuals that are absent, that experience absent fatherhood. So, like I said, though, we're going to have a real flavorful conversation about the state of Black fatherhood.
Definitely.
And why.
And again, it's happening locally up here, so you're going to see people locally from the Seattle areas and surrounding areas up here. But this is a community conversation that goes across the nation. So if I don't care where you guys are, where you're watching from, it's going to be on Facebook Live. You guys can come in, chime in, comment, and be a part of this conversation because it affects all of us nationwide. We know how this is, and we know what our communities look like. Once again, I want to welcome everybody who's just now tuning in and listening on RainierAvenueRadio.world. This is Urban World Talk Live on RainierAvenueRadio.world and on Facebook Live. You guys can continue to comment, like, and share this video. We are talking about Black fathers. We're talking about co-parenting and families and households, raising these babies right. So we just got into that a whole lot. So that's the Black Fatherhood Summit is going to be next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. And it's going to be at a Skyway, Washington. It's going to be on Facebook Live. You guys check that out. But also, now we were also going to be talking, today we're going to be talking about the Black families, or not just Black families, but families in general, and how important co-parenting is, and how much of a big a component to raising these children that co-parenting is.
Show by itself.
Yeah, right. We were actually supposed to be joined by Mr. Anthony Toomer. He's having traffic issues. If you notice the common theme in this Seattle area, it's the traffic issue, because people always having trouble getting around and getting to this station on time because of the traffic. It's really bad. It's terrible, especially this time of day. So we apologize for him not being able to be with us right now. He was trying, but it doesn't look like he's going to make it. But the reason why he was coming in, especially today, was because he also shares a child with Miss Ashley King, and they're good. They're an example. They're an example of a healthy co-parenting situation between exes, people that are not in a relationship anymore, but they're still coming together for the common good of raising their son the right way. And for the most part, everything works out in that situation in that regard. So, Ashley, tell us a little bit about your journey in terms of your relationship with your baby's father, your son's father, and how important it is for you guys to have a working relationship.
Well, Anthony and I have known each other for a really long time, since I was 12. So we have a lot of history, and our relationship was never functional. It was always up and down, back and forth, typical young relationship. I had my son right after I turned 21, so we were really young. And I think that neither one of us really had what it took at that time in our life to make it work as a couple and effectively be parents. We get along much better as co-parents. It took a while. It definitely didn't happen overnight. And I think that what people need to understand, Anthony has other children by other women, and people always ask, how do y'all get along so well? How are you guys so friendly? And I'm like, because for me, you have to be able to separate yourself emotionally from that person, whether it's good or bad. Right. So there's people who I'm still in love with them, I still want to make it work, or I hate them, they ruin my life. Whatever it is, it clouds your judgment, and it makes it hard for you to see them as the parent. My relationship with Anthony I could hate him. Today I don't. But I could hate him, but my son loves him.
Right.
So my
That's
feelings
important.
about him and my relationship with him will always be separate from my son's.
Right.
My son's feelings will always trump mine. It's very selfless. I think a lot of parents, where they go wrong, they think being a parent and being selfless is just monetary. Like, I can't get my nails done because I got to pay for this. Or I can't do that because I got to do this. It's emotional. A lot of your own emotions and feelings have to take a back seat so that your kid, I'm never going to taint my son's image of his father because of what we went through. My son didn't go through that.
Wow.
So that's not his problem.
That right there is so important, because what you just touched on, one of the things that you just touched on, the fact that you aren't going to hold any problems that you had with your son's father against him, especially in regards to his kid, because a lot of times people do carry those emotions. So it's very important to not be emotional and carry those raw emotions that you had in your relationship against the father of your child. Right?
And it's hard. I mean, we're human. It's hard not to feel some type of way, but you can't pour that on your son. I can't project my feelings off on you. You don't have anything to do with it. Right. You know what I mean? Same thing with his other children. I love all of Anthony's kids. I love all his other kids' moms. Those are my boos. We're the baby mama club. So, I mean, if I need something 9 times out of 10, I can call them before I will call him, like, baby mama, can you do this for me?
But that's awesome. You still working out with this. No, I'm going to speak to
rare.
Right, that is rare.
Very rare.
We're speaking to this.
He's blessed. He better know how lucky he is.
He better know. He better know. And
Y'all
so
tell him.
we know that like you said, that you had several different children by several different women, and one of the big issues with that, as we get, okay, we got stay with us, guys.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let's wait.
Okay.
You gonna fix it?
Just come this way.
Well, in the meantime,
Yeah.
Just come. No. Just come this way. Don't bother.
Just
walk.
walk.
Just come this
Just
way.
walk.
Yeah. Stay with us. Stay with us, folks.
Just stay with us, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things we were talking about, as you guys,
They can hear you.
they can hear. I'm trying to match the visual.
No,
I'm trying to match
I
the
don't want
visual.
you to do
Don't
that.
match it. Don't match it. Okay, so one of the things though that we deal with though is the disrespect that goes on between people sometimes when they break up, and sometimes how they can't coexist with each other. And now there's that disconnect, and then that translates to the children as well, because
do I just
the
tap the
parents
screen?
just kind of.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
So sometimes that happens, and then the mothers don't want to be involved with the fathers. The fathers don't want to be. They don't want to deal with each other, and then that ends up turning out to be where they're not around for the kids.
Right. Again, shout out to Ashley.
I practiced that.
Yeah, and she's that's a rare story. I know it's not totally impossible, but that's rare. That's not my experience. My experience, imagine several different households that I had no influence on at all. So my children didn't come out the house and off the porch with a lot of really positive values that I wanted to instill, because I was everywhere. Again, that Papa was a Rolling Stone son. But what I do see is that, like, for example, my second oldest daughter, her mom just played games with her. It was a power thing for her.
Right.
To say no.
Use the kid as a weapon.
No.
Right.
I can't stand parents that do that.
So
I can't. I really resent mothers that do that. I mean, I respect women to the fullest, but I cannot respect a mom if you do that. You hold the child.
Personal.
Yeah.
And then you also have, once they have, they don't have, like she said, I can hate it. I can hate him, but at the same time, those feelings are my son's feelings, and what's in the best interest of him trumps my personal whatever towards the other parent. I know what I know is the ugliest, and I think it's child abuse, to tell you the truth. When a grown person has a grown-up conversation, a grown person has a grown-up conversation
There it is,
with a
right
child,
Oh.
and conditions that child to hate or feel some kind of way against that other parent.
Taint the image.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they trying to get dirt on the other parent or something like that.
I've
seen that happen.
If
I've
you
seen
go
that
to
happen.
court, it actually is a form of child abuse, and they'll say that's actually
It's against the law.
that you can't do that. You can get in big trouble for it. And it happens all the time. I unfortunately have personal experience with that too. I have a couple of children by other women, And you know, one of the situations is it's cordial now. You know, it started out real, all the BS that you're talking about, all that extra stuff. It started out that way, and it's cordial now. But one of them is not, and that's one of the things that I try to tell them, and I try to talk to them about, and you know, kind of, you know, hey, look, you know what I'm saying, like. You know, there's no reason for you to be talking to them about any problems that you have with me or I have with you or anything like that. But they don't do that. And a lot of times they like to use the child to get back at you. They want the child to, they think that they're getting an upper hand by making the child mad at you, you know, or whatever. When really you're just confusing them.
It's damaging your child.
Right. Especially if they have a relationship with you and they know that it's different with you. You know, it's just really whack that happens.
And it's crazy too, because a lot of, I've experienced that with, again, one of my baby's mamas, and but it was crazy though, because once the baby started acting out, right? Because of the fact that we were saying no to me of seeing this child. Right. Now this boy starts acting out. Now all of a sudden you're calling me, telling me, you need to come get him. Yeah. But before, you know, I'm going to run and come get him. But at the same time, I got so many layers of this onion I got to peel. Right. As far as his emotions.
All the stuff that you messed up, and I got to come
pick damage control.
Right. And so this is one of the things that we're going to really dig into next week at the summit, is we're going to talk about the choices that people make. Actually, you made reference to the point of that, the fact that you and your Anthony, when you guys got together, you were just young and dumb and not ready for that commitment and ready for that situation. Shouldn't have been there in the first place like that. And then you ended up having a kid. I'm in the same boat with, you know, especially with my oldest. You know, I was nowhere near ready to have a kid, and let alone be in a relationship at that time. I shouldn't have had any commitment at that time because I wasn't ready at all.
When you had your oldest?
Man, I was 19 when my daughter was born. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm 19. I was 19, but at the same time, I was like 19. I wasn't nowhere close. You know what I'm saying? I was mature. I was mature in certain areas, but like in getting my life together areas, I wasn't close to being mature. I was an infant. You know what I'm saying? And I also tell a lot of the kids and younger guys that I talk to now, especially from the times that I was younger, like when I was 19, I'm like probably like 3 or 4 different people from then. Right. I went through so many life changes from the time that I was 19. Well, you don't know who you are. But this is right. But my point is, you don't know who you are at these times. So making long-term decisions, like getting with somebody and having a kid, is detrimental to everybody because you're going to end up having a child with somebody who you won't end up getting along with, and you guys are going to have these problems, and you might not be able to be involved with your kid the way that you want to. Anthony, you got married pretty young, but you know, you guys are
20s, 25,
right. But you guys, you've been around though a lot of people in the same situation.
Oh, absolutely. Well, when you were talking about like just not getting along and using the child, one of my good friends in high school went through this. She went through this, you know, had a child young, and her and the other parent couldn't get along, and they were arguing, and it got to the point where this played out over social media. This is back in the MySpace days. So, yeah, I mean, talk about pettiness to the fullest. But, yeah, just seeing that, I was like, okay, if I ever break up with the mother of my child, and I've said this just hypothetically, if I ever break up with the mother of my child, I would never refer to her as a baby mama. I refer to her as the mother of my child because I think it's disrespectful to call her baby mama. Like, no. She carried the child. She's actively involved in my daughter's life. I can't do that. But
right.
Yeah. But still, no. Even if we argue, but still, I mean, it's important though to like, you know, I like, and I see
the foundation.
Yeah, exactly. That's the foundation. Like one of my longtime buddies, you know, he has 2 beautiful daughters. He was telling me the other day, he's like, yo, I cannot believe that the mother of my kids has been trying to pry information out of them to try to use it against me in court.
They do it all the time.
They do it all, and it's sad. Horrible. It's very sad.
So, Lavelle, do you mind sharing with how many, or you got a lot of kids? You got a few kids.
I have no problem with that.
Okay. So
I got 8 kids by 7 different moms.
7 different moms.
Boy, trying to start a football team here.
He's close.
You got to start in 5. You got some big players. Got some serve.
You could have been shouting low, all my baby mamas.
Okay, so do you guys have a working relationship with some of them? Half of them? What's the average?
Depends on the day.
The kids are. I got 3 teenagers. So 2 of my kids are by the same mom. We're divorced. We were married. We're divorced. And so the other ones are grown. Right. So there is no connection and need to interact with the mothers. But the dysfunction was so deep, we never recovered from that anyway. So it was never really a working relationship.
And how detrimental was that to your relationship? How was your relationship with the moms? How detrimental was that relationship with the moms to your relationship with the kids?
It was very to the point where when I was making positive decisions and wanted to be around, the relationship between the mother and I, which was unhealthy, toxic, just made it to the point, again, they were power struggling. They would keep the child away from me. They would know how much the child meant to me, how much my children mean to me, and still would just feel real empowered to say no.
No, and so that right there, even with the being locked up 5 times, that almost is a root cause of some of the disconnect that you have with your children was because of the relationship with the moms. So you see, this is the point that we're really trying to get at, especially, and we're going to really get into, because one of the important things. And look, there's a million things, especially black folks. We know we got a million things we got to deal with within our communities.
Already.
But one of the main things, the most important things is getting with the right people and making the right decisions.
Y'all wear signs.
This whole thing, but this whole thing, because and most importantly is doing it at the right time and being with. It's not about. Look, there's a lot of people that are religious, and God bless you if you have your, God said this and that. But it's more importantly to me is not to take all the moral and everything else away. Just realistically, law of averages. The majority of people that you run into, you will not work out in a relationship with. Most of you, I hear people all the time talk about, I was in a successful relationship. If you guys are broke up now, it was not successful. I don't care if if you guys break up, it's not. I'm gonna disagree with you
on that one.
In what way?
I think you can have a successful relationship that breaks up because maybe you started young and you guys did have a healthy relationship, but as you get older, your wants change, your needs change, you grow apart, and it's amicable, and you can be respectful and shake hands and walk away. I feel like that's successful. Yeah. So you learn something from it. You either win or you learn.
If you guys had a decent friendship, was the relationship a success?
I feel like it was.
Yeah.
I feel like it was.
I mean, as long as, like she said, as long as you didn't, end on bad terms, you ended amicably, and there's still a great amount of respect there for one another. Yeah,
I mean, that's a success.
It's like this. It's like this. If a CEO steps down from a company, does that mean he was unsuccessful at his business?
That's not the same. That's not the same. That's not the same. You was getting paid for that. That's not the same. A relationship is when you.
But I'm just saying,
get together of your own will and be together, and you at some point it stops working, and that's when you break up. It's not like I went on to move to another job. I don't think. But let's not get caught. We don't got time though. We can't get caught. We can't get caught.
As always.
The point is.
I mean, unless the next show wants to let us run in.
Hold on. The point is, if you guys are not going to be together forever, then you probably want to really consider whether or not you should have a kid together.
In a perfect world.
Right. Yeah. Well, the point is,
Teri,
what I'm saying is, at a young age, you're not ready.
Probably not.
You're not ready. Most likely, you're not ready. Can we agree on that?
Yes, absolutely.
You can be ready and still not be ready.
Right. We're gonna have to get back to you guys. We're gonna have to do a follow up on this to really get into these comments. We have to go right now. This is Anthony Adams. Where can everybody catch you at?
Facebook.com/DJ Adams, and please make sure you like and follow Facebook.com/Urban World Talk, and keep the conversation going.
Miss Ashley King.
Ashley Taylor, Ashley King, Kingsqueen 0816 on Snapchat.
Ms. Lavelle Sites.
Lavelle Site, Lavelle Marchand, Inner City Action Network, ICANN. Shout out to the King County Credible Messengers. Shout out to all you fathers that are present and active.
All right. I'm Teri Youngman. Thank you guys for watching. Rainier Avenue Radio.world, Facebook Live. Be back next week. Father Shop next week. We out. Peace.
Thank you.
You can do like the disclaimer at the end of a commercial where they're like naming all the side effects and stuff real quick.
And I was gonna say when you talk about, remember that Queens of Comedy and Samora said,